good morning to all of the student. Today is our third chapter, horticulture, method of plant propagation. In this chapter we are learn about the introduction, plant propagation and sexual propagation. Let us learn one by one in the next slide. First of all, plant propagation. What is meant by plant propagation? Plant propagation is the process of increasing the number of plant of a particular species or a cultivar. Here in plant propagation, that is the process of artificially or naturally propagating plants. Here the plants are propagated by two methods. First of all, artificially, or second one is the naturally. Naturally they are propagated with the help of seed, and artificially there are the different method. With the help of that method they can be propagated artificially. Here on the basis of this, there are two types of plant propagation, or there are two primary form of plant propagation, that are nothing but the sexual and asexual. Here first is the sexual reproduction or sexual propagation. Sexual propagation involves the exchange of genetic material between parents to produce a new generation or a new plant. Here in nature, propagation of plant most often involve the sexual reproduction or the production of viable seed. But when exposed to a proper environmental condition, and these seeds germinate and grow into a mature reproductive plant. That is the sexual propagation. That means a plant produces the seeds, and with the help of seed again new plant can be developed. That method is known as the sexual propagation. Whereas second is the asexual propagation. Here in asexual propagation does not involve the exchange of genetic material. In sexual propagation there are two sexes, male and female gamete are involved, whereas here genetic material is not involved in the asexual propagation. So it is almost always produces plants that are identical to a single parent. Here over the year, horticulturists have also developed a sexual propagation method that use vegetatively plant part, and this allows plant to be created in a ways that nature cannot duplicate. As we see, most of the grasses, they reproduces asexually. One of the stem of the grass can attach to the soil, and at that part, if that part is nodal part, at that nodal part some root can be developed, and from that another plant can be developed. That is the asexual propagation. Next, plant propagation. What is meant by plant propagation? This is the example. Here this is a plant or any grass. When one of the stem of grass is in contact with the soil, when there is a node, from the nodal part there are produces the root at the below and produces stem in the air. This is the artificial plant propagation. This is the process of plant propagation naturally. In some cases, some plant or some trees growing, they produce the fruit ripen, and the seed of that fruit are again mixed into the soil. From that seed the new plant can be germinated. That process is known as the plant propagation. So the experience of the ancient people, that a piece of a stem of grape, fig, olive coming in contact with the soil, any stem coming in contact with the soil strikes roots and produces a new plant. Here also new plantlet can be developed, just like the original lead to the discovery of the vegetative method of plant propagation. Even the art and technology of grafting and budding were not unknown to the people of ancient people or civilization, as is evident from the writing of the famous Roman biographer. So earlier Sanskrit works such as the Bruhasmita, most probably written between the 200 BC, has also made reference to vegetative method of propagation of plant such as wood apple, jackfruit, etc. And thus it is evident that ancient people maintained and increases many improved plant form by the unsophisticated vegetative method of propagation. For example, potato and sweet potato were propagated by dividing the tuber. As we know that potato can be divided into the number of part, or that tuber can be divided into the number of part, and the part which having the nodes, that parts are sown into the soil, and from that part the new plant can be developed. Likewise, banana also, the some part of banana that are used, banana, bamboo and ginger, by separating the rhizome, they having the rhizome, separated the rhizome, and from that rhizome the new plant can be developed. In the pomegranate, fig, olive and grape, they can be propagated by the stem cutting is there, and from the stem the new plant can be developed, that is known as the stem cutting. And pineapple and date palm, by separating suckers in the pineapple plant and date palm plant, there is a suckers are there, and that suckers are separated from the main plant, and from that sucker the new plant can be developed. But it is contrast vegetative method of propagation than that of the sexual propagation, and help the ancient people in involving the superior plant form by means of natural hybridization and selection. Thus, these methods of propagation have been in use probably since the dawn of civilization. So, the plant propagation is the process of creating new plant from a variety of sources, that may be sexual or that may be asexual. For example, seeds, cuttings, bulbs and other plant parts. Plant propagation can be also referred to the artificial or natural dispersal of the plant, that is known as the plant propagation. That means multiplication of the plant by sexual or asexual method. By sexual method with the help of seed, asexual method with the help of different parts of the plant, that is known as the plant propagation. Next point is the sexual propagation. Here the male and female gametes are involved in the sexual propagation. So what is mean by that? Means here is the example. The product of sexual propagation, that is known as the seed. Propagation by the sexual spore or by the seed, that is known as the sexual propagation. Some of the lower plant, there are again two type of plants are there, lower and higher plants. In lower plant they are propagated by the sexual spores, and some of the higher plant they are propagated by the seeds. Lower plant spore, higher plant seeds. The formation of such spore and the seed is brought about by the fusion of the two cells commonly known as the male cell and female cell, result in the formation of a single new cell, which is the first cell of the new plant. Male cell and female cell come together and they combinedly form a new cell, and that new cell is the, or from that new cell the new plant can be germinated. If this new individual is a member of one of the lower division of the plant kingdom, it is known as the spore. When male and female gamete of lower plant they are combined together, they form the spore. But if it is belong to the highest division of the plant kingdom, that which produce the flower, it is known as the seed. Okay, these are the two terms, spores and seed. Both are the sexual product. Okay, and from that sexual product the new plant can be germinated, and that process is known as the sexual propagation. Here what is the product of sexual propagation? The product of sexual propagation is nothing but in higher plant it is the flower. Okay, this is the diagram of a flower, sexual propagation and the flower part. Here sexual propagation is the process by which the plant reproduces, in which the pollen from one plant fertilizes the ovary from the another plant. Pollen from one plant fertilizes the ovary of the another plant, producing one or more seed in them. It can be contrasted to the asexual propagation, in which new plants are created from the dividing plant part. In sexual reproduction, the male and female gamete, all pollen is the male gamete and ovary is the female part. They combine together and form the seed. But in asexual reproduction, the specific part of the plant, that may be the stem, that may be the root, that may be the flower leaf, these parts are mostly useful to grow new plant, that is known as the asexual, and that is the contrasted of sexual and asexual propagation. Here different parts, vegetative part are used for propagation of asexual propagation, that are the cuttings, stolon, runner, storage organs such as the bulb, tuber or any of the number of other ways. Okay, here in the sexual propagation the two parts are important. Here this is the flower, this part is known as the peduncle, these are the sepal of the part, okay, these are the petal, okay, this circular part that is known as the ovary, okay, this is the circular ovary, and in the ovary small circular part that is known as the ovules, okay, and this ovary is the female reproductive part. This is the style of the flower, and at the top of the style there is presence of stigma. This stigma, it is the main part of the flower and it is the part of this ovary. On this style the anther is attached. On the anther there is presence of circular pollen sacs, and on that pollen sac the pollen grains are there. These pollen grains are nothing but the male gametes. Ovary, female gamete and or female cell, and pollens, they are the male cell. Here if pollen grain from the same flower can germinate to the ovary of the same flower, that is known as the self-pollination. If the pollen grain of one flower germinate the ovary of another flower, it is known as the cross-pollination. In this way, the sexual propagation can be takes place. Two things is there. First one is the male gamete and second one is the female gamete is required for the sexual propagation. In this way, what is the product of sexual propagation? The final product, when this pollen grain germinate the ovary, ovary is developed into the new seed. Okay, from this ovary the new seed can be developed and ovules, new seed, or in short way the ovary is developed into the fruit and ovules are developed into the seed, and that seed is the important for the rising of the new generation. In this way sexual propagation can be takes place. Next part, what is the importance of sexual propagation? Why this sexual reproduction or sexual propagation is important? Here first point is it is important for plant raised by the seed is planted live. Mostly the plant propagated by seed, they are the live plant. Second, the plant hardy with the deep root system. Here they are the hardy with the deep root system, so they are vigorous in the growth. The root system of sexually propagated plant, they are more vigorous, or it is well developed than that of the artificially propagated plant. Third one is the polyembryony. Here the possibility is there is to obtain the change in the seedling. the performance of which are better than their parents also. For example, mango, if we are develop a new plant from the sexual propagation, the offspring of that plant may be superior than that of the parent plant. It is another importance of the sexual propagation. Polyembryony, the phenomenon of propagation of more than one seedling from a single seed produces true two type of seed. That is known as the polyembryony or nuclear embryonic seed, which could be used as a rootstock for uniform performance. This is mostly applied in the mango plant, and it is also common in the citrus and jamun. Next, that is the important when vegetative propagation fails. Seed propagation is necessary when vegetative propagation is unsuccessful or expenses. For example, papaya. In papaya, the vegetative propagation fails. In another plant like the coconut, areca nut, in such plant vegetative propagation can't work. In such cases, the seed or sexual propagation are important. Next one is the exploitation of hybrid vigor. Hybrid vigor is possible only when the hybrids are multiplied in the first instance through sexual propagation, although subsequent fixing of heterocyst is effected through vegetative propagation. For example, sapota or mango. In mango, the Ratna mango, that is the combination of Alfonso and Nilam, they are combined together, and from that the new hybrid vigor can be developed, and it is only due to the sexual propagation only. Next one is the rootstocks are usually raised by the seed. Here the rootstock, in most of the cases, the rootstocks are usually raised by the seed only. For example, in most of the citrus plant, grapes, when we use the rootstock, that rootstock are mostly it is raised only by the seeds. Next one is the when seedling is required in large number. When we require the seedling in large number, seed propagation is only easy means with the help of which we can produce the large number of seedling. For example, dry fruits and forest sap species. This can be only cultivated with the help of this sexual propagation or with the help of seeds. In this way, these are some importance of the sexual propagation, and today we are conclude here. I hope most of you understand this topic. In next topic we are discuss about the next point. Thank you very much.